Mukunji. Tongoyo, you can take note.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I also want to say the statement is quite insufficient. Honorable Speaker, from a far look, this looks like there's a lot of conspiracy around that case. And Honorable Speaker, I am appealing to the committee to go beyond IPOA statement. There is a need, Honorable Speaker, for this National Assembly to go beyond the issue of getting a report from IPOA and actually form a commission of inquiry to know exactly what transpired, that is supposed to be independent, that involves also everybody that is being mentioned. Honorable Speaker, there has been mentioned two gentlemen that come from my constituency. And Honorable Speaker, those young gentlemen who are actually cousins had been arrested because of a road issue, a traffic matter. They were released. And then when they went for their vehicle, Honorable Speaker, they were rearrested and taken in custody, and they are being forced to write statement. Honorable Speaker, I beg for this National Assembly to take the issue of police misuse and misconduct very seriously. Let us try as much as possible to correct the image so that, Honorable Speaker, as my sister has said, we have to ensure the credibility of our nation is beyond reproach.
Thank you. Otienda Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the response as read is grossly inadequate. But it is because of our system that we cannot expect our own colleague to give us sufficient answers, because he can only rely on answers that has been given to him. Mr. Speaker, the issue of Ojwang demonstrates monumental impunity and disregard to the Constitution and the law, to an extent that, as seen together with what happened yesterday, it demonstrates total anarchy and a danger of sliding to be a banana republic if we are not already there. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I would suggest that to ask our colleague to bring better answers is to give him a task beyond him, because he will not get better answers. He is relying on the same police who told us that this was an issue of suicide. There is no way they can give us any better answers. Mr. Speaker, I would suggest that if ever there was a case where we should consider constituting an ad hoc committee, because Ojwang's death demonstrates what happens every day, except it does not come to the limelight. I would suggest that, Mr. Speaker, you consider constituting an ad hoc committee to look into what actually happened, and also to look into what happens to other persons in similar circumstances, so that the police can be brought to order within the Constitution and the law. Mr. Speaker, there are so many gaps in that responses. Number one, for starters, we have been failed by IPOA. IPOA cannot, as the person investigating police conduct, attend a press conference where the police are explaining their own conduct. You cannot do that. IPOA cannot come and tell us that they have arrested people and they are prosecuting people for murder when the central suspect has not written a statement to date. How do you determine then who should be taken to court if you've not interviewed Eliud Lagat up to now? IPOA has failed us, and we must call them to order. The other failure, Mr. Speaker, is in response to what now happened, the public outcry. I read the statement of 16th June 2025 by the DIG Eliud Lagat, where he says he has voluntarily stepped aside. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing like stepping aside in law. I invite, Mr. Speaker, that we look at the National Police Service Act, we look at Section 17, we look at Section 95A. Under Section 17, the President can remove the DIG, can retire the DIG, or can redeploy the DIG. None of those can be done by the DIG themselves. Under Section 95A, the disciplinary process can only be done by a disciplinary committee of the National Police Service Commission. You cannot discipline yourself by saying you've stepped aside. What does that mean in law? Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest that this whole issue is a charade. If you look back to the questions that were asked, before you are arrested, you are supposed to be told why you are being arrested under Article 49. This was not an arrest. This was an abduction. And to use the word arrest, as has been used by chairman, is wrong. And if it was an arrest, you are supposed to be taken to the nearest police station. Why would you be taken 600 kilometers? And when you are taken to the station, then the OB is not recorded. At what point then are you told of the reason for your arrest? And then you are put in situations where you are clearly have been set up to be killed. Mr. Speaker, I think we owe it to this country, given what happened to Ojwang, given what happened to those who are demonstrating at what happened to Ojwang, to the extent that the same police are now escorting goons, we are in danger of sliding to a total banana republic. And if the executive cannot bring us back on course, it behoves this House to do so. Mr. Speaker, I suggest we establish an ad hoc committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Tongoyo. Honorable members, from what I have heard and from what the chair of the committee read to us, first, Honorable Otieno Amolo, you can only set up a committee through a motion. There's no motion before me. But more importantly, I direct that the Minister for Internal Security appears before this House on Wednesday afternoon so that those with questions, and the questions so far raised by Ivo Bara, Otieno Amolo, and Mukunji be availed to him via Hansard so that he can be able to be interrogated by the House on matters touching on the death of Albert Ojwang, taking into account the ongoing court case and the sub judice rule, so that we can have this House lend its strong voice on matters that we disapprove of, on the conduct of officers who are supposed to protect wananchi. So, Majority Leader Owen Baya, Wednesday at 3:30, the Minister for Internal Security to appear before this House. Is so directed. Yes, Tongoyo?
Honorable Speaker, I think on that one, I don't want to... Just one question, Honorable Speaker, that has come out clearly. As much as we all regret as a country, it was really a very unfortunate event, even to include what happened yesterday. Of course, we saw in the videos going around of a police officer shooting an armed, innocent Kenyan who was walking, doing his assault, which even inquired. We are lucky he's still recuperating in the hospital, although they say he was used a rubber bullet. Honorable Speaker, I think it's just good to appreciate that IPOA had really done a good job, because in speed 5 days, okay, it's me talking.
Order.
It's me talking. Honorable Speaker, as much as we invite the the Minister, what we wanted from the Internal Affairs Unit is full cooperation. And when we're interrogating, Honorable Speaker, IPOA themselves confirmed to us that the IG and his team were really in full cooperation.
Honorable Tongoyo.
Yes.
You can advise the Minister to come with IPOA alongside him.
Yes. Better that way.
If he wishes to do so.
Okay.
Because under our structure of government, he gives policy direction to many of those institutions under him.
So I would suggest then you recommend that IPOA also join the CS.
It is up to him to decide who to come with.
Okay.
Yes.
Well guided.
Yes, I don't want to escalate this. I've already given direction. What's your point of order, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do appreciate that you don't want to escalate this. and because you have actually requested the CS to come.
I've not requested, I've directed.
Directed, thank
Yes.
you. You have directed, and I'm glad that you have corrected me one of a few times when I'm happy when I'm directed. That is directed. Let him be here. And the reason is because the issue of security actually resides in this house. And I know and I want to commend the committee because they've done a very good job. But the house, the entire house needs to be seized of this matter because it's our primary mandate to oversight the security. But Mr. Speaker, even as the CS is coming, there are other issues that are arising that we would want him to deal with. Number one, only 2 days ago, Mr. Nditi died in a police post in my constituency, allegedly by suicide. Mr. Speaker, again in, I think, Nyando or somewhere, somebody else died allegedly by suicide in a police post.
You know what you should do, Honorable Millie? File additional questions on the issues you are raising. And any other member who has similar issues, file questions so that we pass them on to the minister as he prepares to appear here on Wednesday, and be at hand to interrogate him on all these issues so that he can be able to not only satisfy the House but the country on the situation surrounding Albert Ojwang, the Onditi you are talking about, the shooting in town yesterday, and any other matters within your knowledge that requires the minister to be brought to his attention and to answer fully to the House. Yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand guided, and I will be doing that. Mr. Speaker, yesterday when I was speaking here, I was informed that the person who was shot yesterday, who unfortunately I'm told has died, I don't know if he has died, the one we are saying was shot by, is not dead. Or I'm happy to hear it's not dead, and I hope. Yes, that's just what I wanted to say, even though I still am appalled and I'm not happy by the way the police operated. It doesn't matter where he came from. Of course, it hits me more if it comes from Suba, because I was told yesterday it's from Homa Bay and Suba in particular. But I wish to tell the Suba people that he was not from Suba. We are still not happy that he was shot, but it's not from
Members of the National Assembly, you are members of the National Assembly of Kenya. It matters not where a Kenyan comes from. The pain of a Kenyan in Mandera, in Busia, in Homa Bay, in Kwale is the pain to all of you. And that is as it should be. Let's go on to the next matter. Go back to messages. That matter, hold your horses to Wednesday. Go back to messages. Robert Mbui, you will speak